Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This time I'm doing more of Lords of Magic, the Elven Warrior Lord. And as you can see, I'm starting with the chest piece. There's a bit of a detail inside. This is a chainmail, and I've had reservations for this because I was really scared about working on chainmail. I found a workaround which helped me do it a lot easier than expected, than I thought. And it's a little bit of a cheat, and I'm going to show you how in just a few seconds. The whole piece is divided in 3 parts. The other 2 parts are really easy to make, but the chainmail is actually the complex thing, and here we should go into it right now. So I started with a grid, and I tried to cut out regular parts. As you can see, I'm always counting again on the top, and I'm actually the moment I didn't, I screwed up, as you can see on the bottom, which meant I had to redo that part. Luckily I wasn't that far into it. Yeah, and next was giving it a base form. So this is basically just a flat 2D form of a chainmail-like object or thing. Next thing was thickening the whole idea. So this is what we're doing next. No, actually we're cutting it in form first. I did that, and so that the links actually look round, at least the one you can see from the front. And yeah, next thing was thickening it, as you can see here. And I put the first one in place, and then I realized, okay, how am I going to do this? The idea was copy-pasting this next to each other, but as you can see next, I actually forgot to give it a bit an extra piece, so I had to make that by hand, which took a bit of time because I couldn't figure out what the problem was. It turns out you shouldn't fiddle around it with symmetry. So after finishing the first piece, you can see I'm just copy-pasting the A and the B part and trying to align this around the body. On the front this worked quite well because the male body, or the male body that Genesis 2 is rather flat on the front. So this worked quite well, and as soon as I turned into the side, I encountered a problem because I wanted this to fit the form more than it does right there, so it's not just a barrel, and also because as you can see on the beginning of the video, the armor that I used, the artifact in the game, does have some details on the hip which I wanted to add as well, so the belt thing. And yeah, this meant I had to screw around with a already finished product, which was okay for the most part, but yeah, okay for the most part, it still means there are some problems. So I guess if I'm doing this again, and I know I will do this again, at least work with trying to chainmail, I will probably find another way, like I guess doing it around the instead of doing it vertically. I guess next time I will try to do it horizontally in rings, and then try to work the rings around the body, because this should work much better than whatever I'm doing there. I found a way to fix this, or to move this to it's probably best not to look too much into detail on the render. It was it was a really good learning experience for me. I learned quite a few things. Yeah, but you can absolutely see what catastrophic mess this is in the back. And this was the most time-consuming part of this one. Next is interesting because I actually for the skirt-like part, battle skirt part, I tried a few different approaches which were quite interesting to play with. I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this. I just knew, okay, I want something that resembles armor, that looks armor-like. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna see where this is going, what I'm getting, and yeah. The first idea was just like, okay, let me do these checkers and extrude them and screw around with this. So I had saved it one time as a first test run. Yeah, actually this was much more time consuming than you would imagine. Because I didn't have a clever system of working with this, but it looked quite okay. So next one, I tried to just extrude some areas and melt them together, and this was also quite okay. Wasn't what I wanted, and now we're coming to the version which I actually used. So I did a checkerboard on the whole thing. Extruded it once, then did the other checkers and extruded it again. So yeah, and this is what I went with for this. Yeah, last thing was the belt. This is again, if you can check the start of the video and then jump back here. The belt part, and I just copy pasted basically. I just made the first form, copy pasted it, and then welded it, molded it to the body or to the shape of the armor. And for this centerpiece, I have no idea. I just I had a few pixels to go on, and I just decided, okay, I'm just doing something. It looks like a frog, and whatever I wanted it to look like a flower. Didn't guess I have to try again next time. Yeah, but I still used it and implemented it mainly because I only have so much time to work on this now that I'm back in the when I'm working. And yeah, through some simple textures on everything in the next few things, and we're going over to the next part, the tiara. By the way, the render of everything is at the end as usual, so you can just jump there if you don't want to watch everything here. And yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the elves and these weird tiara things. I mean, it's okay if they like it, have fun wearing this. I wouldn't, probably. Most likely, I'm not sure. But yeah, I also didn't copy the whole thing completely from the original. Giving it a 3D area was filling it up from the back was a bit difficult, but I managed somehow. And yeah. I actually went back in the game at some point and checked if it's just melted on welded on the front of the head, or if there's at the frontal like here, and it apparently has a frontal or headband or whatever. So I made one. Last were the shoes. As you can see, I've used the same basis that I used for the Berserker, and I will most likely use for all the boots of the male characters, because it's just so goddamn easy to just reuse them again and again and again. It's a really well made form, it's really good, and it's really easy to work with. And the textures are really okay with it. yeah, I made a cylinder and built a zigzag in it, some crisscross lines, cut out all the other parts, and then I fitted it to I loosely fitted it to the shoe, to the belt, to the shoe, to the boot, and next was after welding it, after fitting it to the boot, I thickened the whole thing. There's a bit of a cleanup and a bit of a better fitting to it. And this is basically what I did. This is the same I did for the arm guard. This is actually completely the same thing. The only thing I did here is I tried to emulate fabric that sticks out of this out of this crisscross. So basically the crisscross stuff is strapping, and it straps the boot to the leg. So obviously the fabric would come out between the boots. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the whole video. I didn't record everything that I did for the Elven Warrior. For example, the hair I didn't record. I just made this in between from other stuff. It's really not that interesting because I'm basically doing the same thing I do every time with hair. Yeah, enjoy the render and see you guys around.